We're going to discuss the advantages of having a dog trainer help you, what they can achieve and what they can't achieve, and what the expectations are. Hi, my name's Charlie Thorburn. Welcome to Mordor Gun Dogs. This week we're just going to be chatting about the sort of the input from a trainer, from someone on YouTube, and how you can translate that into your dogs. But also, if you go for a lesson or you have your dog, go for training, or just the expectation level. So if you're sick, you go and see a doctor, and the doctor prescribes you rest or some antibiotics or whatever it is. Now, there's got to be some level of input, and maybe talking about a doctor is the wrong analogy, but we'll just go over that one now. So if a doctor prescribes you some drugs, then you need to take that course of drugs or you're not going to get better, okay? Going to the doctor gives you a sort of feel good, I'm at the doctor, I'm going to get better. Then he prescribes you the drugs. You've then got to take them every day for the next 2 weeks or whatever it is to actually get better. Just going to the doctor isn't going to fix the problem. It's the kind of the follow-up. Dog training is kind of the same. So you can go for a lesson with your dog and the guy or the girl will tell you, a load of information, a load of stuff, hopefully good stuff. Hopefully if you've got a good dog trainer, hopefully a load of good stuff about your dog. But you've then got to implement that stuff. And I think people sometimes forget that and they kind of think, I go for training once a week. Now, we don't actually do weekly training lessons. And the reason we don't do weekly training lessons is because we give you a load of information and it's now your job to go away and practice it. And we don't really want to see you for 3-4 weeks plus, because you've got lots of stuff in there that we've given you that you can go away and you can implement. And if you don't go home and practice it, you're not going to get any better. So you come back 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, if you haven't practiced any of it, it's kind of, we're just going to be doing the same stuff as we were last time. Now, the reason we do a longer period between lessons, whereas some people will do once a week, is because basically we have the view that if you came to us once a week for a lesson, on week 2, we would be telling you exactly what we were telling you on week 1. On week 3, we'd be telling you exactly what we were telling you on week 1. So the only reason for you coming is to actually put that sort of focus in and actually practice. And it's kind of a waste of time, because we're of the view, well, if you're not going to put that time in, you're better off just sending the dog off to boarding school and let us do it and we'll do a better job. And then we can train you at the end. The other thing is, when people are getting a dog back from training or they're buying a ready trained dog, it's not like just going to the garage and picking up a new car, okay? You don't just put the keys in, have a quick look at the new controls and head off on your way. It's more like you've got to remember that you learnt to drive. You put that time in learning to drive so that you know how to drive a car. You've practiced, this is Poppy joining the film. You've practiced that process of driving a car on a regular basis. You don't go age 17 on your birthday, buy a car, get in it and go, great, I'm off. That expectation of just thinking, I'm going to pick up a trained dog and it's just, or a dog that's been away for boarding school and it's just going to work for me is, a little bit unrealistic. You've got to put in a bit of time. You've got to have a little bit of training, a little bit of knowledge yourself. The more knowledge you have, the better. So if you're getting a trained dog from us or from anyone else, the more time you spend with that trainer, the better, really, because the dog's understanding of what they're meant to do is great. But you've got to build a relationship with the dog. You've got to understand how the dog thinks and how you work with the dog. Because just picking them up and heading off is a bit like picking up a car and not really knowing how to drive, and certainly not knowing what fuel the car takes, not knowing where to put the windscreen wiper fluid or the checking on the radiator or the oil, or if it's an electric car, not knowing how to plug it in and charge it, or not having a charging station anywhere at home or anything, so you can't actually charge it. Not checking the tyres, not doing anything at all, no input at all. You could buy the best car in the world for hundreds of thousands of pounds or even millions of pounds, and if you don't do anything, if you don't put any effort at all into that car, it's going to just fall apart. It's going to stop working. It's going to start having some major issues. And dogs are the same. They are even more so than a car. They are a living, breathing, self-thinking animal. So if you don't put any time or effort in at all, and you literally turn up and expect the dog just to do everything for you, even though you don't know the dog and you don't know anything about the dog, and you've had a 10-minute, 15-minute lesson with the person you're getting the dog from, it's just not realistic. It's like going to the doctor and expecting them just to go ting ting, magic wand, you don't need any effort, you're fixed. Or going to the gym, ting ting, magic wand, you're all super fit, super strong, and it's all done and you don't have to put any effort in. It's just not realistic. So people might then say, well, what's the point in getting a trained dog? Why wouldn't I just get a puppy and train it myself if I have to put all that effort in? Because when we're learning to drive a car, we're not learning how to build the car as well. Okay, we're just learning to drive it. We don't need to know how that car was assembled, where it was assembled, or the history of the car. We just need to know how to use it, and that is the major part of it. The guy or the girl who's putting the car together in the factory, they've done that loads and loads of times. In the same way, the team here and me who are putting together nice trained dogs, we've done this loads and loads of times. So we know, Poppy, she's about to knock the camera over. So we know how to go through that process. We're bringing the dog in the right direction. We're bringing you in the right direction, and then the two of you then meet. So we're not magicians. We are people who spend time and effort in with our dogs. People who've got good dogs are people who spend time and effort. Yeah, occasionally you get someone who's like, oh, I really didn't do anything. My dog was just awesome. Yeah, absolutely. In the same way, some people can just get in a car, have 3 or 4 driving lessons, and away they go. Some people need to get in the car and spend hundreds or thousands of pounds learning how to drive, and they still fail their test. My wife being one of them, 5 times she failed her test. And yet now she's a really good driver. A little bit fast, maybe. And she did fail one of her driving tests for driving too fast. But she had to put in that time. Now, does that mean that, does that mean it was all a waste of time? No. It just means she had to put in more effort than a friend of mine who literally had 3 lessons and did his test in a really easy place and's been driving ever since. It's all different. The dogs are different, and you are all different as well. So the key is it's not just a quick fix deal. Don't expect to go for 1 dog training lesson and it'll all be done. Don't expect to send your dog away for a few weeks boarding school and it'll all be fixed. You've got to see the fact that this is a long process. People often say, oh, can I drop my dog off for a weekend and can you train it? And I'm kind of like, wow, if it was that easy, I'd be selling, loads and loads of dogs. People wouldn't have much, or the other side of it, people really wouldn't have much need for me, because training dogs, you could just do it in a weekend. Then, it'd be like, well, it's easy. It's like, washing the kind of wheels of your car. Anyone can do it. So it's not like that. So you've got to be mindful about the time it takes and the effort it takes in, and that consistency. Thank you all. Thank you for watching, and remember, you get out what you put in, and this video is absolute key to that. You have to put that in. You have to put that time and that effort in. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.